Okay, so in this video I want to talk about melt and pour soap making and also the different types of molds. Typically for melt and pour we use plastic molds. So these are different designs that I created. Here you have kind of a leaf design. This is a contoured top oval. Feels really good in your hand, kind of a small personal size. This is a massage bar here, and then we have a fun kid bar here which has some whales on it. So fun stuff. These molds work really well for melt and pour. So to design these molds, I was looking through some of my stuff and I had a few still of the original parts that were tooled. So this would have been machined out with a CNC. You can kind of tell, I know it's really hard to see the detail in here, but this is a Ginger Man. There's quite a bit of detail there that you can't see. Here's the template for it, for the bar. Put these two together. We would cast a resin base into this mold, pop it out, drill really tiny holes in it to go through the vacuum forming process. This is something I'd really hope to do with you guys this quarter, and I hope to do in the future, is to create some molds that we do some vacuum forming with. So something we'll be doing hopefully soon. So yeah, again, we would, create the actual tool. In mold making industry, we actually call the master mold the tool. So you'll hear me refer to that. So this would have been the tool. What you're actually creating with your designs is what we would actually call the tool or the master mold here. So, okay, so moving on. So if I had a mold like one of these plastic molds, it would have this oval design into it. I'd pour my soap base into it after I heated it up. Here you'll notice that we've got 3 different colors. So, and you can do this, and these colors, it's real easy to add colorant to the soap base. Food coloring actually works really, really well. I have some food coloring here, so if you have some food coloring at home and want to do some cool stuff with colors and do multicolors, you can do that. You'd want to pour the first color and then let it set up. Probably about 30 minutes before you pour the second color. What melt and pour soapers do is they use an alcohol base is probably about 99% alcohol. They'll spray it onto the mold actually before they pour. It prevents bubbling occurring. And then they'll also, between each layer, or they'll pour it up to the top of the mold, they'll also spray it on there. It prevents a lot of bubbles that come to the surface. You'll notice that once you pour it, there's kind of a lot of foam on the surface, and you want to get rid of that. If you don't have any denatured alcohol, that's fine. It'll still pour up and make your bar. It just makes it a nicer looking bar. So if you're doing multiple layers, you'd want to pour your first layer, let it set up. Before it sets up, spray it with the alcohol base to try and get rid of any air bubbles. And then just before you do the second pour, spray it again. It acts as a binder between the 2 layers. Again, if you don't have the alcohol, it's not a problem. You'll still get a bar. It just helps with the quality of the bar if you do have alcohol that you can actually spray on it with a spray bottle. So here's a cupcake from a cupcake mold, a 2-piece mold, kind of a fun design. And here's a bunch of little soaps I found from in one of my packets from when I had the business. These are just little cookies that came from a mold, but they're all, it's just all a soap base. So I'm going to go down now and to the microwave downstairs here in CTC, and I'm going to heat this up, come back with a soap base, and we'll do a pour. Okay, I'm back. I have some soap base. I put it in a microwave downstairs. I did this for about a minute, and it started to bubble a little bit, so probably less than a minute with the amount of soap that you have, but certainly probably not more than a minute. It's nice if you can put it in a glass measuring cup so it makes it easy to pour. Remember, the product's going to be hot coming out of the microwave, so be careful with that. I'm going to take this mold right here, and this is the one I'm going to pour into the soap base. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of coloring here. I'm just going to do a 1-color pour, but I'm going to do blue. Probably 2 drops is all you'll need in that, and then pretty cool. Just going to stir it in. You could just stir it in lightly and actually pour it and you'll get a really cool effect. You could actually do multiple colors, just do a real light stir. If I was to take a second color here, I've just really lightly stirred that and say maybe I want to come in here with some red. Put one drop into it. Just really lightly there. Stir that in too. You can maybe kind of see I'm getting multiple colors in there. So you can create some really cool effects. That's what's fun about this. So I'm just going to leave it with those two colors there. I'm not going to stir it in solid. I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to pour it in. So you notice there's a few air bubbles on top. It may be hard to see from there, but the minute I spray them, they'll go away. May want to double check because more may come to the surface. So really simple. That's all there really is to it. So you could have stirred those colors in or one color in more, made it more feel like it's a solid color. In this case, it kind of gives it a variegated effect, doing multiple colors. So there you have it. That's easy peasy.